But the main part of the incubator is you actually work on your project. So for 4, 5, 6 hours a day, in various containers, you will take your in-basket or take your yellow pad or take your computer into these different heightened workspaces, you might say. So one of them is basically a contemplative workspace where you're encouraged to, just take no technology in the meditative contemplative workspace. No phones, no computers. You can take a pen and a paper. We have bean bags. So for an hour and a half, you would commit to that kind of a workspace where it may be appropriate for you at this, considering what's on your plate for this day, to actually do some blue sky, maybe do some wild mind writing, maybe just sit and be creative, allow what's going to arise. But to do that in a space with other people who are doing the same thing is rich and delicious. And then there's emergent property. There's an emergent that arises out of that we space. So that's one. The second workspace that we would have would be akin to an open office. If you have a loud phone call, you might want to remove yourself. But it would be the same etiquette that you would run into in an open office. Functional talking, but mainly people are there powering through. They're doing their spreadsheets, they're doing their planning, they're doing their in-basket, they're doing their email. They're actually writing what they have to, whatever it might be. But so that workspace has its own quality, and it has its own fruit. And as intentional beings, which at Integral we are, we want to say which of these two, what would serve me best for the next hour and a half work session? Choose one of them. Or the third. The third is we're in an old church here. It's a great old lady building. I love this building. And we have a cafe and salon up front. It's like an old Western hotel lobby kind of thing. And if you go there, that's the rules of the coffee shop. So yeah, you can still have your computer. You could even do a call as long as it's not too loud and obnoxious. But that's a place where you go to talk to people. And so you run your ideas by somebody, or you listen to theirs, and you get what we can give each other in that kind of a situation. But do we want that full time? Probably not. So we just become more and more intentional about how we actually choose the workspaces that we're working in. And then we have some check-ins and goals for different periods. And there's a whole complex program around how we work this. And that would be the bulk of the day. If you're not getting traction, we want to work with you, And also there would be, of course, we have several smaller rooms where if you want to have a meeting, we have a conference room, or a couple people want to get together in front of a whiteboard, no problem. We have people here who are business consultants. We have a lawyer here who can give you basic legal kind of information. We have a couple coaches that have graduated from the coaching school in Canada that you're part of with Integral Life, and they're here available. So people will have an opportunity to really bring their intention to what they're doing, and that's really important. This is, again, a lot of times where postmodernists get a little weak, in terms of actually stating an intention, and these words that we use matter. And this actually then gets to what we would do in the evenings, more or less. And the evenings would be social, but social with a purpose. The idea of, think Toastmasters, where people in small groups have a chance to develop their, minute and a half elevator speech. When somebody says, "What do you do?" or "What are you working on?" you know what you're going to say. And you've thought it through, and you're good at it. And it's something that magnetizes the other person. I mean, could you actually literally get it to a minute? But not just that. Just in general, how does one assert oneself in the world with other people? And we'll work on that. And in small groups and in large groups. And how do you express yourself vividly and allow yourself to be expressed vividly? And it's fun, and it's juicy, and it's useful. And we would probably end the evening with some kind of a ritual or depth experience where, that's where we want to go back and and bring online the stuff from Magenta, you know, the tribal, the enchanted world, the deep community, you know, that kind of stuff. It's very delicious. It's helpful in heightening space and putting a period at the end of a sentence and intensifying your own intention, putting a stake in the ground with subtle energies. I mean, ritual's really powerful, really great. And it doesn't have to be a big frickin' deal, actually. It doesn't. In fact, at Integral, we want to demystify, in a sense, some of the rituals that we are delivered through the lineages and re-enchant them by making them real-time useful. So we'll work with that.